Good evening, world. It's 5 o'clock. I just got back from my shift at Coco Fruity. Fucking tired, man. Was today busy, Ivan? Today was not that busy, but closing, it wasn't that bad. But I ended at like 4:30 at Coco Fruity, and because Anthony left Coco Fruity for his other job, now I have to work Saturdays, man. I have to work Saturdays, and dishwashing is a lot of work on weekends, man. It's fucking stressing shit. And so after I make this video, I might go to McDonald's, get something to eat, and then I'll apply it to the McDonald's full-time hours there. And if I get the job, I'm going to quit Coco Fruity because even though I like wearing Coco Fruity, the people there are nice, it's a family, dishwashing is very annoying. It's very stressing, man. Like, I'd rather flip burgers. Even though McDonald's is more busier than Coco Fruity, all I gotta do is flip burgers. Whereas Coco Fruity, I gotta wash dishes. And I hate closing at Coco Fruity because it's crazy, man. I have to wash a bunch of dishes, man. Take all the garbage and mop. It's crazy, man. Yeah, man. Good juice. You know Oasis? Yeah. Oasis, right? It's good juice, obviously. Yeah. So I've been working at Coco Fruity. I've been working at Coco Fruity for 2 years now. 2 years in like a week. May 7th was my 2-year anniversary last week. So I've been working at Coco Fruity for 2 years now, but I'm really getting annoyed with the job. It's very tiring on my body, and it's tough on my body, right? Washing dishes, right? Yeah, and I have to work Saturdays alone now because Anthony quit. He quit the job, so now I have to work alone on Saturdays, man. And I'm gonna be stressed out tomorrow, man. Because on Saturdays, the boss doesn't put me with 2 dishwashers. He has 1 dishwasher work. It's very stressing, man. Yeah, man. I now know why he hired me, because he couldn't find a dishwasher. Because nobody wants to work dishwashing at Coco Fruity because it's so much work, yeah. What about Dinty's? Dinty's is a lot of work, but Dinty's is not as bad as Coco Fruity. Coco Fruity is tougher. It's more work for me, man, because I have to take out a lot of garbage every day. The amount of garbage I take out of Coco Fruity is crazy, man. It's a bunch of boxes, a bunch of garbage. Dinty's, I only have to take out maybe 5 garbage bags, but they're not heavy garbage bags. They're like pretty light bags, and I only have to take out maybe like 10 cardboards. But the people break down the cardboard for me. I just put it there. But I do wash a lot of dishes at Dinty's too, but Dinty's is not as stressing as Coco Fruity. Coco Fruity is more stressing because Coco Fruity, the restaurant closes at 2:30, which means I have to close the whole dish pit. So they bring a bunch of dishes and I have to close. Whereas Dinty's, I don't close. They bring the kitchen dishes and at 3 o'clock I'm out of there. I'm sorry. And I want to get that chick's number down. Don't hate me, I'm saying, yeah. So if I do get the McDonald's job, I'm going to quit Coco Fruity and I'll still work. I'll work twice a week at Dinty's. That way I can get that chick's number down. I'm sorry. Yeah. Or like Coco Fruity. At Dinty's, I mean. Don't hate me, I'm saying, yeah. Fuck you, Ivan. Yeah, you too. You're a fucking cheating whore. You keep fucking guys every week. I'm going to get my girlfriend too, Regina. If you're pissed off, I'm sorry, man. It's too bad. Karma's a bitch. There you go. I've been faithful to you for 30 plus years. Oh, Ivan, you're wearing a mask. You're doing this to get back at me. No, I'm not doing this to get back at you, VJ. I'm doing this for me. I want to experience what it's like to be in a relationship. Yeah. Fuck you, Ivan. It hurts. I'm like, yeah, you too. You hurt me too. It goes both ways. You can't be heavy, VJ. I'm sorry. I know when you give me hell, you're gonna keep seeing those guys and fucking me on my back. You're gonna still fling with those guys that you like. You fuck guys for fun, and you also see those guys who you like on my back. I'm not gonna do that every day. You're gonna keep seeing the guys. I'm not stupid, man. I hear you moaning every day. You can't hide your sin. I know you're seeing those guys on my back, VJ. I'm not an idiot. That's why I'm not gonna listen to you when you cry to me, because you're gonna keep seeing those guys. I'm not gonna do that. I'm sorry. Fuck you, I know why you're saying fuck you, because you know I shut you for good. You can't say shit, VG. You're a cheating fucking whore. You had your first year boyfriend, your mess happened, and you made out a lot of guys in your shows and movies. It's like, shut your for good. You can't say shit. I'm 100% justified getting my own girlfriend. If you're mad at me, I'm sorry. Karma's a bitch. There you go. Don't hate him, son. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Ivan, trust me, man. If VJ cries to you and she says, like, fuck you, how can you use me, man? Don't fall for her manipulative crying, man. She's going to keep seeing those guys. The numbers are still on her phone now. She's giving you hell. She's going to keep seeing those guys that fucking lie behind your back because she likes them. She knows I'm never going to know. And so don't let Victoria Justice do that, Ivan. I know you're seeing those men, VJ. I'm not an idiot. Even when you give me hell, you're going to keep seeing those guys on my back. I'm not going to do that, man. You can't have your full cake. I know you want your full cake, but you're not going to get your full cake. I figured it out. I'm not an idiot, VG. I know you're seeing those guys. I hear you moaning, man. Every fucking day when I work, man. When I sit down, when I have a smoke, I sit. Sometimes I go to the bathroom, I take a shit, and I hear like my heart pounding, and I can hear VJ moaning. I know she's fucking the guys. You can't hide your sin from me, VJ. You're gonna keep seeing those guys on my back, and so I'm gonna get my girlfriend. If you're pissed off, VJ, I'm sorry. Karma is a bitch. I'm not you doing that, man. Because you're a fucking cheating whore and you piss me off. You're blind, man. Blinded by your sexual sin, man. You're a fucking crazy woman. And after you fuck the guys, at nighttime you cry all night and say you love me. You're fucking crazy, man. God, that's why I ignore you when you cry me, VJ. I can't take you seriously. You're a crazy woman. Yeah, man. VJ is a crazy woman, man. I can't take her seriously. She's crazy. Crazy psychotic woman, yeah, man. Fucking crazy. Ugh. Yeah. Ivan, show us more in your book. No. I'm not going to show you more in my book. I don't want to spoil story for you, man. You'll see what I mean in my book. I don't want to spoil story for you. See what I'm saying? Yeah. Ivan, your stepmother really told you that Xanus is number one. Yeah, she did, guys. I'm not lying. She told me, Ivan, your book's number one, and Hollywood will be all over your story. They love your story, Ivan. I know. But the Xanus brand is mine. I'm not selling out to the Hollywood system, man. I have my own keys. I want to sell to you, man. The billions I make off the book, I can start my films with VJ, better than the Hollywood companies. So why the fuck would I sell in Hollywood when I can start my films with better than the Hollywood companies and film my Xanus movie for $2 billion? Make a better movie. Yeah, why the fuck would I sell? I have my own keys. I'm gonna sell to you, man. I'm not selling to you, baby. Well, yeah, I'm not sharing with the fucking garbage right for the world. You crazy? No way. The go upstairs and get coffee, guys. Yeah. So Xanus number one. When you guys read sections of my book, I think you guys are gonna understand why my stepmother told me my book's number one. Think about it. Me and VJ's family, they own Hollywood, and they told me my Xanus book is number one, which means it's the number one IP in the entertainment industry. Yeah, I mean, your brand, the Xanus brand, is number one. It'll be the biggest brand in the entertainment industry. It'll be more popular than even Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter. It's a better story than all those IPs. The Star Wars originals are masterpieces, amazing story, but even that's not on the same level as Xanus. Xanus is a fucking masterpiece. But the prequels had its problems, obviously. I like the prequels. I think the prequels were good movies. The first one and the third one were the first one. The first one was pretty good. The third one I think is a masterpiece. But the second one was a crapshoot. It wasn't that good. Obviously, and the sequels were terrible. Don't even get me started with the sequels. Like, they told me, yeah, your brand Ivan is number one. The Xanus book's number one. That's number one. Hollywood would love this. Yeah, she told me that, man. I said, I'm not lying to you guys. She sat with her. She told me that. This is number one. Hollywood would love your story, Ivan. Yeah, I would love this. Would love your book. Yeah, she told me that. And I showed you section of my book. You guys understand why she says number one. My story is a masterpiece. It's the best fantasy novel ever written, yeah. My story is a masterpiece. It's the best fantasy novel ever written. It's a fucking masterpiece, man. Yeah, man. Masterpiece. My book. Yeah. How much money do you make off your book, Ivan? 10 to 14 to 20 billion. But if everyone in the world buys it, I'll make my 70, 80, 90, 100 billion off the book. If all like 7+ billion people buy it, I'll make like my 100 billion. But because the majority of the world don't speak English, the people in the foreign world will not buy my book because they don't understand the book. So that means most of the people in Africa, the Middle East, South America, China, India, Japan, South Korea, and all that stuff. Most people there don't speak English. Only the people there who speak English, good enough English, will buy it. But the ones who don't understand English will not purchase it because they don't understand the book. And I can't afford to translate my book in 200 languages. I don't have that kind of money. That would cost me tens of thousands. I don't have that kind of money. Xanus is in English, which means only the English-speaking world can buy it and read it. Hence why it narrows it down to maybe 1 billion, 800 million, 900 million, 700 million copies sold around the world. It beats out Harry Potter. I make my 10 billion, my 14 billion, my 20 billion. Yeah. How much you make out of it? I think maybe 10 to 15 billion I make around there. Maybe 10.5 billion I make off the book. He's like, how's it make off your book? I'm like, Vijay, I made $10.5 million. You made $10.5 million off your book? I'm like, yeah. She's like, holy shit, that's a lot of money, Ivan. I know. Ivan, we can build that dream like $550 million house. I know. Like Batman, right? We can start Sky's Entertainment. I know. Sky's Entertainment and make the Zanes one for $2 million and fund the game for $500 million. But if I make 10, I have to be more careful how I spend my money. I'll put 300 million towards my studio lot instead of 400 million. Or I save more money. I'll still get to like 350 million on jet. I can easily afford that. And I'll put like 550 million towards my house. A little bit less. That way I don't blow more my money. If I make 15, I'll put more towards the house. Like 600, 650. I can put like 400 million towards the studio lot. But if I make 10, I'll put 300 million towards the studio lot. Which is still high-tech enough, right? For my office, right? My Sky Source office, yeah. Yeah. Hence why the gates are not touching my money, man. I don't know, the $10.5 billion off my book is my billions. You're not touching it. All the trillions in the world goes to you. I'm not going to let you take out on my $10.5 million, but you're fucking crazy, man. Those billions are for me, VJ. It's not for you. You're just a greedy psychopath, man. All the trillions in the world goes to you, and you also want to take my $10 million. You're fucking greedy, man. Yeah, Ivan, because I don't want you living that multiple life with VJ and being that rich, Ivan. I'm envious. And because we control all the money in the world, we will also want to control your money too because they're greedy pigs. Yes, you deserve to control all the money in the world, but my money you don't deserve to control because you're not God. You didn't create the universe. You may be the God of the money system in the world. You're the gatekeeper and everyone sees you as a God because you own all the financial system in the world. But you're not the true God who created the earth, who created the whole universe. You're not the true God, and you don't deserve to control my money. And you know I'm the true God. You may act all you want, I'm some normal man. There's a reason why you lock doors on me and cause this mess, and you want me to share it because I'm a special guy. Yeah. I'm special, obviously. You know I'm special. That's why you lock doors on me, man. Yeah. Yeah. Yo, Ivan, that masterpiece that you wrote, Lots of Xanus, that money belongs to us. I'm like, no, it doesn't. You didn't fucking write my book, man. Ivan, do you know who we are, man? We're the fucking gatekeepers. We control all the money in the world. Yeah, you know who I am? I'm fucking the son of God. I created the whole universe. I'm bigger than you, man. You can brag all you want about owning the whole financial system in the world. I created the whole fucking universe. I'm bigger than you, man. Yeah. Obviously. I will be a bit shocked. Holy shit, man. These guys are big, man. Yeah. I'm shocked. So this whole time you're this rich and you hit your wealth, man, you have me work dishwashing? Fuck, you guys are evil, man. Yeah, they're fucking wicked people, man. Yeah. Because once they sent me upstairs, VJ's family's true nature will come out. And my family's true nature will come out. Either you share with your garbage wife and you get to be in Hollywood, you bow to us, or you suffer the consequences if you want VJ all fresh yourself and control your Zane's brand and start your skyscraper company, bury the model companies, and I choose you have the choice. I know I made the right choice. I know it's scary, though. All I gotta do is wake up 1 million. I'd rather wake up 1 million and have you do like that, man. I'm not sharing with a garbage wife. No fucking way. I'm not interested in fucking all these women around the world, man. You guys are fucking crazy people. Yeah, I have mental issues. I think it's like all thoughts and everything. I'm a good holy man. I'm not interested in banging all these fucking women around the world. You guys are fucking crazy people. Yeah, you have to share with VJ for every generation forever. I'm like, you fucking crazy. I'm not accepting that cursed deal. I'd rather run off and be single than accept that deal, man. I'd rather run off without VJ and just live my life on my own with my billions and then share with a garbage wife. I would never accept that deal. That's a fucking cursed deal, man. No fucking way. Yeah, man. I told you, if I don't save VJ will be a crazy psychotic woman. She'd become a crazy, depressed, psychotic woman like Bella in New Moon, man. And she'd be crying to me forever, like heavy tears. Because she knows she's never going to see her husband. Yeah, she'd be crushed, man, devastated. Yeah. And for me to be cured mentally, I need to be with VJ because VJ's blue. She's like I don't know. She's like my healing spirit. She's my spirit. So if I'm not with VJ, I'll stay green. And if I'm green, I'll be fucked up. I'll be fucked up in the head because VJ obviously is a cure to my mental issues. Obviously, I have mental health issues. Obviously, whereby I feel like coming out and everything. Yeah, I'm fucked up in the head, man. How fucked up are you? Okay, if Xanus flopped artistically, I'd probably come out. I'd be like, no, like the movie flopped. The fans didn't like it. I've been bragging for years how it's better than Lord of the Rings, and it flops artistically. I feel like coming out because I'm fucked up in the head. Yeah, I'm fucked up in the head. I have mental issues, man. Well, I told you when I come back to life, obviously, my father will obviously refresh my brain, and when I'm king, I'm much better than I was before. But because the Steph family's fucked up my brain when I was born, the mental health issue will still be there, obviously. Because VJ said in that song, "You might be crazy." Have I told you? Yeah, she knows. Even when I'm with VJ, I'll still have a little bit of mental health problems, but I'm much better when I'm with her. She cures me, obviously, for my mental health issues, obviously, because I'm fucked up in the head. Yeah, I'm 100% there, but I'm there in the head, but I have a little bit of mental issues, right? I'm a bit fucked up in the head, yeah. Does VJ have mental health issues? No, she doesn't. But she's a cheating. She struggles with lust. So the difference between me and VJ, I have a issue, a mental illness, obviously, but I don't struggle with lust yet, right? When I get my girlfriend, I you know what I'm saying, no hate, you know what I'm saying. Whereas Victoria Justice, she doesn't have mental health problems, but she struggles with lust, and she constantly fucks guys every week. She has that sexual addiction, obviously, that I don't have. And so you see the difference, right? Even though Ivan is fucked up, a bit fucked up in the head, he has to struggle with lust. With Victoria Justice, she obviously struggles with lust. She can't go 1 week without fucking a guy, man. She's fucking crazy, man. Honestly, and she's also a bit. She's blinded and reprobate too, Victoria Justice. Because you have to be reprobate and blind to constantly cry all night long to your husband and say you love him so much. And after you do that, you go and take off your clothes and fuck a lot of guys after that. Victoria Justice is obviously reprobate, and she's blinded by her craziness and her sin. She's a crazy woman. That's why when she grinds me, I just nowadays when I sleep, I put my music on. That way I don't hear her annoying crying because I can't take Victoria Justice seriously when she cries to me. Because I know after she cries her tears to me, she's all recollected. You know what I'm saying? And it's like 8, 9 o'clock, and then she texts the guys, and she goes to their houses and takes off her clothes, and she fucks them. As every time at work, around 10, 11, 12, I hear my heart pounding, and I can hear VJ moaning. I can hear it, man. I can barely hear it. She's like, she's moaning. Now, one time, last week, I heard her moaning very hard. I'm like, holy shit, this girl's a fucking bitch, man. Yeah, man. And sometimes I just look at my phone while I'm taking a shit in the bathroom, and I hear VJ moaning hard. I'm just like, oh my god, what am I gonna do with my fucking reprobate wife, man? This girl's crazy, yeah, man. And I know later on at night she's gonna cry all night long to me again at night, and it's a cycle. She's crazy, man. And that's why I ignore you when you cry me, BJ, because I know you're gonna keep fucking the guys after you cry to me, man. I can't take you seriously. I'm sorry, man. If you're gonna cry to me and say you love me so much, how about you stop fucking the guys? I can't dog and I like them. Okay, well then don't get mad at me when I get my girlfriend too. Because you fucking piss me off, man. You're a fucking what? A disgrace of a wife, man. A disgrace of a fucking wife, man. You're fucking evil, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, and you're God too. It's an embarrassment, man. You expect me to stay faithful to you when I get a girlfriend? You're fucking crazy, man. Now, we have my girlfriend, BJ. You're pissed off. That's too bad. Calm as a bitch. Don't hate him, son. Yeah. Yeah. Sidetracking. So like the Gates really want to take your money. Yeah, like even when they make their trillions around the world, they want to take my billions off my book too, because they're fucking crazy people, man. They're greedy psychopaths. Man, look, man, you're not touching a dime of my money, man. Zero, man. All the trillions in the world goes to you, and you kept me poor working dishwasher, and you hid it off me, and you caused this mess. You did this evils in my life. I'm not gonna, and threw me in the hospital when I cried those tears. I'm not gonna let you fucking take my money off my book, man. No way. The 10.5 million off the book, the 50 million off the book is my money. You're not touching it, man. The trillions in the world goes to you. This money's mine. You're not touching it, yeah. And they get all pissed off because they're greedy psychopaths. Yeah, they want to control my brand too. I'm like, you don't deserve to control my brand. You didn't write my book. I'm not going to let you take my blood, sweat, and tears, man. Off my money off my book. It's my money. It's not yours. See what I'm saying? Yeah. You have to be bold with the Gates, Ivan. God gave you the keys to the kingdom that way you don't have to sell the Gates. He also gave you the gift that way you can write your masterpiece of a novel. That Xanus brand is yours, Ivan. The Gates, don't let the Gates dupe you, Ivan. You'd rather wake up 1 million and have the Gates dupe you, man. They're going to destroy your life and steal your money and give you peanuts. Give you regions like 5 million, 10 million. They steal all your billions. When the world is not even buying the movie and the book because of them, they're buying it because of my keys. So I can open the door myself. And you're duping me. You're stealing my money, man. It's wrong to steal, Ivan. Yeah, and if I sell it to you, you're also stealing my money too. You're stealing my money, man. Yeah, it goes both ways. It's not okay for me to supposedly steal your money, but it's okay for you to steal my money. That's the way you think? Because you're crazy. Yeah. I'm sorry? All the money in the world goes to the gatekeepers, man. They control it all, man. I don't know, the 400 million that's made around the world, the Gates control all that, man. Which means they make their trillions every year. You make all that money, you also want to take my template off my book, man. You're fucking greedy, man. You're a greedy pig, man. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm nervous. I don't want you living that wonderful life rich. I don't want you controlling their money and being that rich, Ivan, because they're enemies. They don't want me living that life being rich. Because they know when I'm king, I'm going to get the full grown beard, smoking hot, going to be with VJ. They don't want me being smoking hot, going to be with VJ. Having all that money and that power, they're envious. Even though the trillions of the world goes to them because they're greedy pigs. But I have the keys, I'll sell to you. And Zane's brand is mine. Zane's is mine, it's not yours. Lasso Zane's book is mine, it's not yours. I'm sorry, yeah. 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 Alright, you're fucking cocky, man. You think the Lasso of Xanus will be better than Brad. Ivan, you're fucking crazy. You really think the Lasso of Xanus is better than Brad Sanderson, the great Brad Sanderson's Way of Kings, the legend J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, the legend George R.R. Martin's Game of Thrones? You're crazy, Ivan. Well, I showed you sneak peeks of my book, and when you read my book, guys, and you read these other books, those other amazing fantasy authors, what book stands out more when you read it? Be honest. Last of Xanus, Ivan, yes, Last of Xanus is a more fresh and entertaining read. My book is very fresh when you read it, as you guys read, obviously. It's very fresh. It's very entertaining. It's constant entertainment. My whole book is constant entertainment. As every time I show you sections of my book, you're hooked, right? Some sections you're not as hooked, but you're still hooked enough to keep turning the page. My book is an entertainment ride of a lifetime. It's constant entertainment when you read it, man. It's a masterpiece, man. That's why the gates want to control my brand, but they're not touching my money. It's my money, not yours. Don't hate them, son. Yeah. Don't hate them, son. Yeah. I'm gonna get coffee in a sec, guys. Yeah. No, your book is entertaining. Yeah, and that scene that you guys read, that's right before the can't sleep scene, right? And that scene was also entertaining. That's why my book is constant entertainment. The part when they wake them up, that's not as entertaining, obviously. That's why I skipped it. But still entertaining enough to keep you reading. And after that, you have another entertaining read. Yeah. So, Sarah? Because the way my book works is you have like maybe a few pages of like really, really good entertainment, and you have maybe another few pages of less entertainment. It's pretty entertainment, it's not as entertaining, but it's enough to keep you hooked. And after you have another entertaining section, and it's like a cycle, it's constant entertainment in my book. The consistency, right? The consistent entertainment. And you're constantly hooked. My book's a masterpiece. That scene that I showed you guys when he's like, how many will need as many men able to bear arms if we were to wander into that cursed cavern. Yeah, that's right before the can't sleep scene, right? And then after that, you have something else after that, which is also entertaining. And after that, you have the scene in the stadium with a hostile crowd. And that's why I'm a genius. I know how to constantly keep the story pacing and hook you, man. Right after that scene I showed you, you have the hostile crowd. You have a few other pages of other stuff, obviously. I won't spoil story for you. And after that, you have the hostile crowd that I showed you, right? I remember this man. This man is no imposter. He usurped Prince Tacius from the north, son of royal blood. I am now sick, I know. Yo, man, does Eli speak the truth? Are you really the son from the north? The son of royal blood, the son of Tacius the first? I am. And the moment Tacius says I am, the crowd, the southern Saphian crowd, they were shocked. Holy shit, he's really the prince? The last prince, the son of Tacius the first? The stories? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, your book is sick. I know my book is sick, man. Yeah, my book is sick. It's a sick book. And now you guys understand how the Southerns now know how to fight, right? He's like, we'll need as many men able to bear arms. And that answers your question. Well, what do they do? I don't want to spoil Sophia, so but that answers your question, right? You read that passage. That's why I don't want to show you more, because I don't want to spoil Sophia, man. You guys are purging my book. I don't want to spoil everything for you, right? You're finally reading my book. I want a masterpiece. Yeah. And that's why you can argue Axis of Saphius is the best chapter in Volume 2, but you can also argue Tacius Colonius is better. Even though Tacius Colonius is very short, it's a much shorter chapter. It's very entertaining, obviously. And also the Lithia chapter that I showed you, he misjudged my horse. That chapter is very entertaining too, man. Whereas Capture, Land, and Chaos are the worst chapters in Volume 2 when you read it. You can argue Land and Chaos is better than Capture, but I kind of like the Capture chapter better than Land and Chaos. Because Land and Chaos is just... Captured is also a short chapter too. It's a pretty short chapter, obviously. But that chapter is pretty sick when they get captured. Land and Chaos is also good too, but it's probably my weakest one in Volume 2 because it's just politics. It's all politics, right? Yeah. But some people might like that the best too. It just depends how the art hits you. Art hits everyone in different ways, right? And you don't really... Like, the way the art hits me, I think the Capture, Land and Chaos chapter is the worst one in Volume 2. But some people might like Land and Chaos the best, right? I highly doubt it. It's most likely going to be between the Lithia, Tacius or Colonius, or Axis of Saphius. That's probably the more entertaining ones, obviously, in my opinion, right? When I read my book. Yeah. Yeah. 30 minutes in, guys. Yeah. I could show you one scene of Landing Chaos, but I mean, the end of it, when Eritet and them are about to march. You want me to show you the scene when Eritet says she'll be marking the lands? Yeah. That's a spoiler. I can show you the ending of Landing Chaos when Eritet's about to march. I don't want to show you the marking of it, right? That's a spoiler for you. I'll show you this scene here. You know, I don't want to show you, man. I don't want to spoil stuff for you, man. I can show you this scene here with Aratat, right? When you read this, you're gonna be hooked too, man. Book's a masterpiece, man. I'll skip the part with Queen Sarah. I don't want to spoil that part of you. Yeah. You know what? No, man. I don't want to spoil story for you. Well, you already know. You already know Aratat's marking the lands, right? But I mean, this is the ending of that chapter. Yeah. No, I'm not gonna show you guys. I'm sorry, man. I don't want to spoil story for you. I already showed you enough. Yeah, my book is sick though, man. Ivan, please show us more. No, man. I don't want to spoil story for you, man. You'll see what I mean with my book. I don't want to spoil story for you. Yeah. Let Out Chaos is a good chapter too, though. But it's my worst one because it's just politics going on in in Xanus, and you also have the politics going on in Barak. Well, Barak is not really politics, but you have a council, the council rack, right? In Barak, right? Yeah, Aratat talks to the wolves about marking the lands. Yeah, it's also entertaining too, but it's my worst chapter of volume 2 in my opinion, right? When you read it. What does Tacitus always make fun of Job about? He makes fun of the fact that he's a pothead. He's like blazing demented trees, eh? You know, so he makes fun of. I can show you the beginning of Axis of Sophies maybe instead. That's not really a spoiler, right? I mean, I'll show you the beginning of Axis of Sophies. And that's it, guys. I'm not supposed to for you. This is when Cassius and Tacitus always make a little bit of fun of Job, right? When you read this, you're going to be hooked too. Yeah, this is the beginning of Axis of Sophies, and that's it. I don't want to show you anymore, guys. Read that. That's the beginning of Axis of Sophies. I'll show you this scene here. You can read that. This part's not as interesting as the other parts, but it's still interesting enough to keep you hooked, right? This is one of my least interesting parts in this chapter, but it's still, this is the beginning of the chapter. But it gets better with the Warfare and Dragon, and that's this chapter right here. You read that, pause and read it, and I'll show you this scene here, and that's it. I'll show you show you this here. This is the first 3 pages. And I'll show you this section here. And that's it. So I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to spoil for you. When you read that, you're going to be hooked too. And that part is like one of my least interesting parts in that chapter. It's just the beginning of the chapter when they meet Job. But now you understand why he's like, Job, I take it you had our horses taken care of. Yeah, because Job took care of their horses. Because Tactes told Job, or this horse is thirsty. So Job took the horses to the stable and they drank water and he fed them hay and everything. Yeah. They're well fed. There's no pictures like, and what about Tactes? I'm most funny, I know. And you see how Cassitonius and Job make fun. Cassitonius and Cassius make fun of Job. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like you can't expect. Like, how do I know you're no southern thief? Yeah, they mock Job, man. And Tacitus is like blazing the men to trees, southern. And that's what he said. I knew this man had method problems. Yeah, mented is a slang word for a pothead. That's what Tacitus. Tacitus uses this word mented, blazing mented trees. It's a slang word for being a pothead. He makes fun of Job. And when they arrived, they're like, oh my god, our northerns here. When some of the southern saw them, they knew they were northerns because they had their swords. They knew they were northerns, obviously. That's why my book is sick. Your book is sick, I know. And that's all I'm going to show, guys. I'm going to spoil for you. I showed you the first 3 pages of that chapter, right? And that's it. Your book is sick, I know. And that's one of my least entertaining scenes in that chapter, right? The more entertaining scenes is when, like, Cassius can't sleep, when they talk about the Exodus, the hostile crowd, the ending of the chapter. That's very entertaining. Whereas this scene here is not one of the most entertaining scenes, but it's so entertaining enough to keep you hooked, right? I wrote a masterpiece. My book is sick. Yeah, man, your book is sick. Yeah, man. That's why my stepmother told me your book's number 1. My book is a masterpiece, man. It's a masterpiece, yeah. And that's always like, I was told not to trust Southerns. Yeah, they mock him and make fun of him, yeah. When they told not to trust Southerns, well, you have to read Young Tactics to understand that, right? I won't spoil for you. See why when you read Young Tactics, it ties into that passage when they're kids, obviously. I won't spoil for you. I wrote a masterpiece, yeah, man. Your book is already, I know. I tell you my hope. Every time I show you section of my book, you're always hooked, guys, right? Yes. My whole book is constant entertainment. It's a masterpiece, man. You're just turning the page like... You're just turning the page, man. Every time you read it, man, it's a masterpiece, man. Yeah, but your world building's very vague. Yeah, it's the reason I deliberately kept my world building vague. That way, John Howe and Alan Lee can play around with so many ideas, unlimited creativity for my world. Here's a guy, and because your world building's vague in your book, we can play around with so many ideas for the north, for the south, for the castle, for the gardens, for the wall, for the Galathea Forest, for the Gilius Mountains, for the Gilius Cavern City, for Sapphires, for Xanus. It's vague, as you can play around with so many ideas for the world. Whereas for Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson had to kind of follow what J.R.R. Tolkien described, because J.R.R. Tolkien describes everything in his book. Obviously, all the landscapes, the buildings, what the land was like, he describes it in depth. Whereas me, I keep it vague. I get right to the point. I focus on the characters, and that's why my story is more interesting than Lord of the Rings. It's a better book than Lord of the Rings. Some of you guys might like, I like Lord of the Rings better. If you like Lord of the Rings better, I understand. But be honest, man. Lord of the Rings, even though it's a masterpiece, man, it's a tough book to get into because J.R.R. Tolkien's writing style is dry, and he spends pages dumping you what the tree looks like, what the grass is like. It's crazy. The sunset, the armor, the door, the horse. It's beautiful written literature, but it's a bit dry. It's a bit boring for me personally when I read it, man. I read Lord of the Rings. I read Fellowship of the Ring 2.5 times. I read Two Towers and Return of the King. It's a bit boring for me when I read it. A little bit boring. It's a masterpiece, but it's a bit boring, man. It's not my book. My book's more entertaining. You guys see the difference when you read it, right? I see the difference. Yeah, you see the difference, obviously. Yeah. Yeah, and I caught that the Salyans were shocked. Yeah, when Tacitus and Cassius arrived at South, they were walking down the street. Some of the people on the streets were staring. Oh my God, our Northerns here. What are they doing here? Oh my God, our Northern. Yeah, well, the Southerners were shocked that a Northern would come to the South, as you caught that, right? Yeah, but Ivan, that's a contradiction. In the other scene, the hostile crowd, It said those two fellow Northerns they deemed the same. Yes, because not everyone in Sapphire saw Cassius and Antonius when they entered. Only some of the people in the streets, obviously. And when they saw them, they were shocked. Oh my God, our Northerns here. What are they doing here? Yeah, the Southerns always get that reaction. What are they doing here? That's why my book is so sick. I love your role-playing with the Northerns and the Sounds. Yeah, my book is sick, man. It's a masterpiece, man. That's why the game's going to my round, but zero, man. The money off the books from you, if you just offer, you're not touching my money. No 100%, yeah. You say, Ivan, I love your book. I know my book is sick. It's a sick book, I'm saying. Your book's sick, man. I know, John. My book's sick, I'm saying. I can't wait to be part of that movie and play Tacitonius. John Maker's excited, I know. But he's most likely my chosen guy, right, John Maker, right? I'm most likely going to choose him over Daniel Kaluuya, obviously. I think he's better for the role. Even Cassius, yeah, you read in that passage. You say, "How do I know you're no Southern thief?" And Tacitonius like, "Yeah, cousin, I was told to not trust the Southerns. Yeah, they mock Job and make fun of them." And Job was like, "Oh, Northerns are so arrogant." Yeah, the Southerns see the Northerns as arrogant people, obviously, because the Northerns look down on the Southerns. They see them as a lesser class of people because they're from the holy, beautiful heavenly kingdom in Xanus. Especially Cassius and Tacitonius, they're of the royal family. And they have all that wealth and status, obviously. So when they come out of the South, they look down on the Southerns, obviously. And Job is rich. He's a rich guy. He's Eli's higher character. And even Cassius and Tacitonius look down on Job. Because they're richer than Job and they're Northerns. That's why you got that reaction. Yeah, we can't expect to trust Southerns, I'm saying. And Tacitonius says, "How do I know you're no Southern thief? You might steal my horse." Yeah. They look down on them, yeah. Obviously. Please, your book's amazing, man. This is better than Lord of the Rings. No, it's better than Lord of the Rings. Well, Gibson's your book's amazing, man. You're looking at a masterpiece. I know you're looking at a masterpiece of a movie, man. Best story ever told the motion picture. You're looking at a masterpiece, man. Yeah, I believe your book's sick. Yeah, every time I show you such a book, you guys are hooked, right? Yeah, man. It's constant entertainment. I'm a genius, man. I have the heavenly gift. That's why my book is so entertaining. Yes, it's a bit vague, my role-playing, but I kept it vague for a reason. That way I don't bore the reader. Because I learned my lesson. When I read Lord of the Rings, obviously in these other fantasy novels, I noticed how all these guys kept dumping people with like 4 pages of lines, like, and I knew that can bore the reader. Hence why for my book I avoid doing that. Keep the role-playing vague, focus on the characters, dialogue, and their interactions, their actions, and that makes the story jump out. That makes it more interesting. And that's why my book is an interesting read. It's an entertaining read. It's a masterpiece, man. And that's it, guys. I'm not showing you more. I won't spoil more of the story for you, Sarah. I keep saying that. I keep showing, but I'm actually being serious. I can't show you anymore. I don't want to spoil the story for you, man. Sarah? Yeah. Yeah. Blazing the Demented Trees A Southern. Yeah, you see Tacitonius, he's mocking Job. Yeah. Blazing the Demented Trees A Southern. And he's like, "Oh, Northerns are so arrogant." Yeah. Job said that. Yeah. It's actually funny. I'm saying, yeah. However, they're arrogant. Yeah, the Northerns are arrogant. They're arrogant towards the Southerns. They look down on them, man. The Southerns see the Northerns as arrogant people, and the Northerns see the Southerns as lesser people, obviously. That's why they constantly make fun. How do I know you're no Southern thief? You're going to steal my sword because you envy the fact that I'm from the North. Yeah, we can't expect Southerns to exact the same personal traits and expressions. Yeah. Even Cassius was mocking Job too, and Tacitonius too. But Tacitonius mocks Job more when you read the book. But Tacitonius even looks down on Southerns too, as you... Cassius even looks down on Southerns too, as you read that passage. How do I know you're no Southern thief? They don't trust them, yeah. They don't trust the Southerns. They look down on them, yeah. It's actually funny. That's sick. I know, it's sick. My book's a masterpiece, man. These are, and I love your book. I know my book is sick, man. It's a sick book. Yeah. Does Taki's become king in the end? I don't want to spoil the story. You see what I mean when you read the book. Does Taki's die? I don't want to spoil the story. You see what I mean when you read the book. I don't want to spoil the story for you, man. I don't want to spoil the story for you, Samsara. All I'm going to say is that Taki is a legend. That's all I'm going to say. He's a legend. Does he die in the movie? I don't want to spoil the story. You see what I mean with the book? I don't want to spoil the story for you. Who's his queen? I don't want to spoil the story. You see what I mean with the book? I don't want to spoil the story for you, man. Yeah. That's why my book's a masterpiece, man. Oh, your book's amazing, man. Every time I read section book, I'm fucking hooked. I know my book is a masterpiece, man. It's constant entertainment. You're turning the page. You're turning the page. It's a masterpiece. It's a book worth billions. Billions, I'm saying. Yeah. Remember VJ in her video when she had the cigar? She's like, yeah. Yeah, man. Xanus is money, man. It's money because I wrote it and I have the keys, obviously, and everyone will buy it. But it's also the best fantasy ever told. If I wrote this book and I wanted something to God, I'd be richer than J.K. Rowling. It'd be the most popular fantasy series in the world, man. It'd be like Harry Potter and Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings. Because Xanus is the best fantasy novel written, man. There's nothing can top that, man. Yeah, man. That's why when I release my book, I keep telling you, you guys read enough sections of the book. It'll be a public embarrassment in the industry because no author kept the reader hooked the way Ivan did, man. And Ivan's writing is very unique. He knows how to make the characters jump on the page and they come alive. It's so entertaining. My story is very fresh and entertaining. That's why it's a masterpiece. Whereby all these book nerds around the world who love fantasy, once they read my book, all these other fantasy authors who release their fantasy books, it's a letdown. Yeah, there's something about Ivan's book that's so entertaining. I read these other books, it's a letdown. Their books are good, but they're not Ivan. They feel no one can read Ivan's book. They're not Ivan's book, man. Ivan's book was fucking entertaining. There's something unique about his writing style, yes. Because I have the heavenly gift from the heavens. That's why my writing style is very unique. I have the heavenly gift that God gave me, right? My father gave me. I gave myself the gift, right? Yeah. I gave myself the gift. Yeah. I wrote it in my gene, right? Because I knew the gatekeeper was locking doors on me. That's why I wrote the gift in my gene. Because I knew the gatekeeper was locking doors on me, so God had to give me the gift. God, if you want to write your own book, I have to give you the gift. That way you write an amazing story, the best fantasy ever written, and you make your billions off your book, and the gates don't touch your money. That's why God gave me the gift and the keys. That way the gates don't touch my money. VJ also obviously has the gift too, but VJ's stupid. She sold out, and her keys are 100% useless, obviously. If VJ wants to write a book in Hollywood, she can write a book, but the gates are not going to let her make her money because they control her money. They'll let her make maybe her $1 million off the book, VJ, 1.5 million off the book, and they take all the money. They won't let her make her money because the gates have a psychotic envy towards us. That's why VJ's fucking stupid. You saw it when you have the keys to the kingdom, because you're fucking stupid, VJ, man. Oh my god, man. Oh. I didn't know, Ivan. Yeah, man, like, how stupid can you be, man? Like, you have the keys and you sell out to the fucking gates in Hollywood, and now you have a shitty career. They won't even let you be worth your $20 million, and now you're crying me to get you out of Hollywood because you know you got duped, man. Because you're fucking stupid, man. Yeah, man. And VJ's smarter than me, obviously. I was originally smart, but because the gatekeepers fucked up my brain, I'm not that smart of a guy. I struggled my whole life in school, obviously. I finished my high school and everything, but I struggled in school my whole life. But Victoria Justice is fucking stupid, man. Like, you let the gates dupe you and you sell to the gates when you have your own fucking keys, man. Like, you don't need to sell to the gates. You have your own keys. You just have to own a product, and the billions are yours. You don't have to sell to the gates. You have your own keys like me. And you fucking sell because you're fucking stupid, man. Oh, my God. Yeah. Because God gave both me and VJ the keys because we're God always. But VJ's stupid. She got duped by the gate. She sold out. And that's why she's crying to me to get her out of Hollywood. Because she wants to be free with me and she wants my billions off my book. Yeah, I want Ivan's. I don't know. Ivan's 10.5 million off his book. I want a piece of that. I want to be in Hollywood making like $500,000 for my shows. I want to be a famous movie star with him. Sign a massive Amazon deal with him for the Xanus movie. I want to feature the mags in him. I want to travel with him. I want to close out with him. I want to get nice cars with him. I want to get a nice jet with him. The yachts, build that dream 500 feet in a house with him. I want to travel the world with him because she's fucking crazy, man. Yeah, she's a crazy woman. I want to see that. I want to be with him because she's fucking crazy. Crazy woman, yeah, man. And especially give me that evil look. How much money did you off your book, by the way, Ivan? I'm like, this girl's fucking evil, man. No, Ivan, seriously, how much money did you make? Yeah, BJ, I made like $15 billion. You made $15 billion off your Xanus book? I'm like, yeah. She's like, holy shit, that's a lot of money, Ivan. Are you going to share that with me? I'm like, yes, I will. Relax, I'll share it with you. Are you going to share your money with me? I'll share my money with you, Ivan. Yes, it goes both ways. I have to share my money with you, BJ. That's how it works. I'm sorry. Yeah. No, your book is sick, I know. Every time I show you a section of my book, you're hooked. Some sections are not as interesting as others, obviously, but still interesting enough to keep you hooked. Yeah, it's a masterpiece, my book. Like the section I showed you at the beginning of Exodus Safis, that scene there is not that interesting, obviously, but it's still entertaining enough to keep you hooked, obviously, right? It's pretty interesting, but it's not as interesting as the other stuff I showed you. But it's constant entertainment, my book. You're just turning the page. Every chapter you read, you're just turning the page. It's constant entertainment. My book is sick, man. It's a masterpiece, yeah, man. It's a masterpiece. Yeah. Oh, fuck. I work tomorrow at Coco 40, man, alone. Oh, man. Oh, it's stressing me out, man. Oh. I now know why the Coco 40 was hired me, because they didn't have a dishwasher. All the dishwashers who worked there, they all quit, because the Coco 40 is a lot of work, man. Dishwashing at Coco 40 is a lot of fucking work. And that's why all the dishwashers who work there, they end up quitting. Because the work is too much. Yeah. Weekdays it's not that bad, but weekends it's crazy, man. I have to take out like 10 garbages. And when I close and it's fucking busy, it's a lot. I have to wash like I showed you guys a picture of my phone, yeah, like a mountain of dishes. And sometimes they also make me mop too, man. Yeah, man, it's stressing shit. Yeah, man. And that's why I'm gonna apply to the McDonald's. If I get the job, I'm quitting. I'll give the boss a 2 week notice. I'm like, sorry, I got a job at McDonald's. McDonald's is more flexible, and I love working here. The Coco 40 is a family, you know what I'm saying? I love working here, but dishwashing is too stressing on my body. It's tiring, and yeah, he has to find a dishwasher guy. If I get the McDonald's job, if I don't get a McDonald's job, I'll still work at Coco 40. But I'll apply to other places. I might apply at maybe Super C. Obviously, Elmer Barbecue. I might apply at Elmer Barbecue as a line guy. Yeah. I might apply there too, yeah, because dishwashing is very stressing for me. It's starting to get to me. Like today at work, I was so tired, man. I was tired, yeah, man. I was really tired. Yeah. Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna go upstairs and get a coffee. I'll be back in a sec. Skip if you don't want to wait, guys. Don't hang this. I hope you guys enjoyed the show I made for you. About Xanus, right? My Xanus book, my amazing masterpiece. Yeah. right back, guys. Well, I was just getting my coffee. And I have to take a leak in the bathroom, right? Oh, your book is sick. I know. Every time I show you section of my book, you guys are hooked. But I can't show you anymore because I want to spoil the story for you. So I mean enough's enough, guys. I really mean it. I only showed you all the first 3 pages of that chapter. And that's it. I don't want to spoil the story for you, man. You'll find out when you read my book, man. What you read about, like, how many, I'm now sick. And I'm saying, yeah, that's that chapter. The Exodus of Sapphias, obviously. Arguably the best one in volume 2. We can argue Tigers and Loneliness is better, too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. Your stepmother already told you your book's number 1. Yeah, she did. She said, your book's number 1. Which means it's better than the Avengers IP, the Marvel IP, the Star Wars IP. It's number 1, man. Better than the DC IP. Because even though I believe James Gunn's Superman will be an amazing movie, it's not Xanus, right? Xanus is a better story than even James Gunn's Superman. It's a fucking masterpiece, man. It's the best fantasy novel ever written, man. Best story ever told. It's better than even the Avengers movies. And the Avengers movies are amazing movies, obviously, right? I didn't really like Endgame. Endgame, I didn't really like. Endgame was a bit boring for me personally in the theaters. It was pretty boring at the theaters. But Infinity War was really good. I loved Infinity War. Infinity War was really good. But if you think Infinity War is good, Xanus is a better story than that, man. It's a fucking masterpiece. Yeah, that's why he's this is better than the Rings. I know he's better than the Rings. You know what I'm saying? Because Peter Jackson obviously read my section of my book too. Man, your book looks sick. It looks better than Lord of the Rings. Yeah, Peter, it is, man. It's better than Lord of the Rings. Mel Gibson's like, Ivan, your story looks better than my Passion of Christ. Yes, Mel Gibson, it's better than your Passion of the Christ. And Passion of the Christ is a masterpiece, right? The movie that Mel Gibson made like 21 years ago, whatever it is. Yeah. Yeah. So, Ivan, you think Passion of Christ is a masterpiece? Yeah, Passion of Christ is a masterpiece. But it's not on the same level as Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is better than Passion of Christ. But Passion of Christ is by far the best Jesus movie that ever got released. And the second best one's probably The Son of God, with that Italian actor that came out like 10 years ago. That one was pretty good. And the other Jesus movies are pretty cheesy. They're not that good, obviously. The one with, the ones that came out in the 70s, those ones are not that good, obviously. The Jesus movies that came out in the 70s and the 60s and all that stuff, those Jesus movies are not that good. But there's a new anime movie called King of Kings by Angel Studios. That looks really good. I want to watch that, man. That looks really good. I want to watch that movie, man. That's really good. They tell the story of Jesus. Yeah. 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 He's Ivan. I love your book. I know my book is sick, man. It's a masterpiece, man. Yeah. What will fans like the most? I think. You know what? I think some fans might dislike Volume 3 the most, obviously, because Volume 3, I take a totally different direction. When you read my book, you don't really expect that in Volume 3. Volume 3, I take a totally different direction to the story. It's a plot twist. But in my opinion, it's the best one, because that's when the story gets deep, and it's a dark episode of Taki's life. He's in agony, and some of his family members and his friends are crying when he's in agony in the gardens. Hence why you get Jesus symbolism. Taki also goes to the gardens, and he's in agony in prayer when Eretat and his demonic army are approaching. And that's all I'm going to say. I won't spoil it. There's more to the story, but I don't want to say anything without spoiling the story for you. That's the Walking with the Ancestors chapter, right? That's my favorite one. That one's really good. Walking with the Ancestors. The second last chapter in Volume 3 of the book, right? Yeah. Yeah. why did you decide to do that plot twist? Because I didn't really know. I didn't really know how to. Okay, I wrote volume 1. I wrote volume 2. Wouldn't it be cool to have volume 3 have a big plot twist? Obviously, and it goes a different direction. The story gets deep and dark, and that's why it's a masterpiece. Obviously, hence why when I went over my book, I had to change a few things in some sections of the book because I took a huge plot twist in volume 3. I didn't expect that, right? Okay, like if you just have Tactius fighting Aretha, you gotta find a way to have a plot that makes the story deep, and I found a way to have a plot to make the story deep. It's so deep it blows your mind away. It's a masterpiece. That's why my book is the best fantasy novel written, man. It's a masterpiece, man. You'll see what I mean when you volume 3. That's why I enjoy volume 3, because volume 3 is when you get the big plot twist. And Tactius is more mature, and I'm saying, look at a masterpiece, man. Here's I'm looking at a masterpiece, man. This is Lord of the Rings. How I know Lord of the Rings. So I'm just, man, how did you come up with this story, man? This is a masterpiece. I know, it's a masterpiece. Yeah. Are the bats and wolves friends? They're not the bestest of friends, but they're common enemies to humans, right? The bats and wolves are not the bestest of friends, obviously. Aratat even says when you read volume 3, he says those mountains are cursed. He's like, never go there. That's not my territory. The bats live there. That's not my territory. Aratat tells the wolves, obviously, yeah, the mountains are cursed. That territory never linger. It's not my territory. He knows that's not his territory. That's Ephesus' territory. Ephesus is the king of the mountains, man. The king bad of the mountains. Aratat's the king of the rest of the south, but Ephesus is the king bad of the mountain regions in the south, the huge mountain regions in the south. That's his kingdom, his territory, obviously. That's why I wrote a masterpiece. As you read in that passage of the bats, right? That leads to Ephesus. That's why I wrote a masterpiece. My book is sick. Yeah. The king bad of the mountains, right? Yeah. Here's Ivan, the king bad of the mountains. I'm like, yeah, the mountain of Gilead. So I'm like, Ivan, you're looking at a match, man. This is Lord of the Rings. All right, no, it's Lord of the Rings. Yeah. Yeah. And now you guys, I showed you guys enough sections, enough sneak peeks of my book. I think you guys understand why my book is the best fantasy novel written. Are you guys impressed why I showed you? I'm impressed, man. Your book's fucking entertaining. Yeah, my whole book is like that. Every time I show you stuff, you're always hooked, right? Yeah. You're not as hooked in some sections compared to others, but you're still hooked enough to keep reading. My whole book is constant hook, constant entertainment. Hence why I've been bragging to you guys for years. I knew when I read my book, this is the best fantasy novel written. I knew it because I read Lord of the Rings in grade 5. I did a project on Lord of the Rings in grade 5. Obviously, I got a pretty good mark on it too. I remember that. Grade 5, I actually did pretty good in school. Obviously, but in grade 5, I did a project on Lord of the Rings. I read the book. I did a project on Lord of the Rings. I read it in grade 5. And I read again years later when I was an adult. And I read the half of it when I read it on my YouTube channel, right? And I compared to my book. I knew, yeah, Xanus is better than Lord of the Rings. I knew it. That's why I've been bragging to you guys for years, because I knew my book was special. Remember how I told you there's something unique about my writing style with the characters I'm on the page? And now you guys believe what I'm saying is true. Yeah, there's something unique about my writing style. My story is very fresh and entertaining because I have the heavenly gift from the heavens. My book is sick. It's a masterpiece. That's why I guarantee you all the book publishing houses, I wish Ivan can sell and come work for us, man. He's fucking gifted, man. Yeah. If the Gatesman tell me, Ivan, we can have you sign with Penguin Random House, the best book publishing company in the world. and you can write books for them, and we can even have you be in Hollywood and be an actor. I'm like, look, man, I don't need you guys. I can open the door myself. The Xanus brand's mine. You're not touching my money, man. I'm not selling out to the fucking Penguin Random House and have those guys touch my story and ruin my story, change my title, and take all my money when they're only making that money because of my keys. I'm not gonna let the guys do it, man. No way. They're gonna dupe me, man. I don't need you guys. I have my own keys. I can self-publish my book myself. I don't need you guys, man. Don't hate them. Saying, yeah, I don't need you guys. Yeah. Man, I wish Ivan can come work for us. He's fucking gifted, I know. I can tell amazing stories. Yeah. I showed you guys at the beginning of Their Unique. Yeah, that was entertaining too. Yeah, Their Unique was an amazing, entertaining read too. I'm gifted, man. If I wrote Their Unique, it'd be a masterpiece too. I don't think it'd be as good as Xanus, but it'd be the best romance novel ever written, right? Because I have the heavenly gift. It'd be the best romance novel ever written, yeah, if I wrote Their Unique. Yeah. Please, Ivan, I love that start of Their Unique. I know, even my Their Unique beginning was sick. And I wrote that while I was in class, man. With very little brainstorming, and I wrote that. You wrote that with very little brainstorming? Yes, I did. I brainstormed Their Unique later. I remember I went to the library, and I brainstormed my idea for Their Unique in the library. I sat down in the library, I brainstormed Their Unique. I was going to initially write Their Unique in Xanus, but then the stress was getting to me. Okay, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to focus on Xanus. I'm not going to write Their Unique. Remember how when I started my listeners, I said I was going to write Their Unique and Xanus? I decided to just write Xanus. Because I was stressed out, man. I had to finish the Xanus book. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to write Their Unique. I can easily dedicate a good 4 months and finish the book. If I dedicate 4 months and I read everything, I'll finish Their Unique in like 4 months. I read like a 350-page book, 400-page book. But I'm like, nah. I'm just going to focus on Xanus. And I got a little lazy too, right? Because writing a book's a fucking lot of work, man. Yeah. I told you, when I wrote Xanus, I was writing 5 pages every day for like 11 months. Imagine writing 5 pages every day for 11 months straight. You know what I'm saying? 2019, and then in 2020, I announced that I finished the book. It's fucking stressing. I had a blast writing Xanus, but writing a book is a lot of work, man. It's blood, sweat, and tears, man. Hence why I'm like, I don't want to write Their Unique. I can easily write if I want to. I'll make more money. But hence why I saved the file on my Hotmail, just in case in the future, when I'm king, if I want to write Their Unique, I can continue the story and write Their Unique, obviously. So I'm saying, I'm most likely not going to do, as my dream is to be a movie star VJ. It's not being an author. Being an author is fun, but it's not as cool as being a movie star. Being a movie star is much cooler than being an author, I'm saying. My dream is to be a movie star is not to be an author. Yeah, I only wrote Xanus because the gates all doors on me. Yeah, that's why I wrote Xanus. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, your characters really jump out of the page, I know. Some sections of the book, they don't jump out as much, but they still jump out enough to keep you entertained, right? There's some section of my book, as you guys read, the characters don't jump out as much, but they still jump out quite a bit, right? And there's some sections where they really, really jump out. Like Cassius, I'm saying. Like Takis, are you saying there's another passage in the north? I'm now sick, I'm saying, I know. Tas, you know, said, listen to them, their words might give us some for advice on our journey. I'm now sick, I know. Eli, you must forsake this place. Your people cannot stay here, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Obviously. Did you get the idea of Elrond? No, I didn't, but yeah, I remember when Elrond is like, Gandalf, the ring cannot stay here, yeah. Obviously. Ivan, did you get the idea of the land markings from this the scouring of the Shire? No, I didn't. I did not. I didn't know about the scouring of the Shire when I rolled Xanus. Obviously. Because you guys probably thought, yeah, Xanus might be a cop-out of Lord of the Rings, but Xanus is not like Lord of the Rings. It's a totally different world, different story, obviously. Yeah. But some things I did get off Lord of the Rings, like the Gilead's Cavern. I did get the idea of the Gilead's Cavern from Moria, obviously, right? A little bit, obviously, but it's still a different story. Like, the Exodus, I got the idea of Moses because I grew up a Christian my whole life. From when I was a kid to like 7 years old, I went to church like every Sunday. I was a part of Sunday school. I was a part of youth groups and everything. And I used to watch ABN Sat like Sam Shamoon, Pastor Joseph, and David Wood. You guys remember that? Jesus Muhammad. Yeah, I used to watch those shows. Hence why you get some biblicism in my book, obviously. But my book is not a Bible story. It's a fantasy story, as you guys read. When you guys read my book, you don't get any biblical. You don't really see the Bible in there. You can get some symbolism like the Exodus of Sapphius, Moses, Jesus' symbolism with Tactius, Jesus' disciple Papyri. Tactius takes Papyri under his wing and he trains him in the Zane arts. You get some symbols with that, obviously. Lithia has great faith, like one of the women, and when Jesus rose from the dead, yeah. Get some symbols, obviously. Aratat, symbols of the devil. Yeah. Sam's Ivan, your book's sick. I know, Sam. My book is sick. I'm saying, yeah. Ivan, you should have wrote that Islamic story. No, man. I decided not to write that. My younger brother told me, Ivan, don't write this, man. You're going to offend the Muslims. Sam's Ivan, who gives a shit about the Muslims? I know. My younger brother was very serious. Like, Ivan, man, don't write this book, man. You're going to offend the Muslims. Okay, fine. I won't write it. And the book wasn't even that good anyways, right? It was pretty good. But my writing was not as good back then, right? I honed my craft in my writing. I just practice. The first book I ever wrote was not Xanus, guys. I wrote some Islamic story. This is back in like 2010 I wrote the book. I wrote a good, like, I don't know, 30,000 words. That's a good, like, 65 pages worth of a book. 70 pages worth of that book. You know, I'm like, okay, my younger brother told me, Ivan, don't write it. I know why he told me that, because he knew I have the keys. If Ivan writes a book, that's blames for him. That's why he told me don't write it. But he also told me, Ivan, you're going to offend the Muslims. Don't write this, man. I'm like, okay, I won't write it. And I told you guys my idea for the story. It's called Apostasy. Yeah, I told you my idea how I came up with Xanus, obviously. One day I'm like, I want to write a fantasy novel. I didn't know I was God back then. I didn't know there was a lock on me. I want to write a fantasy novel. When did you start writing Xanus? The first brainstorming I ever did of Xanus was late 2011. I did not pen down my first prologue until 2013. So I first started brainstorming Xanus in 2011, late 2011, I believe, if I remember. And then 2 years after that, in 2013, I started writing the prologue. The first prologue was okay. It was me telling what happens. I rewrote it when I was in the hospital, and I showed the story of Tactius the First, obviously. I started writing chapter 1. I made a few changes here and there, obviously. Chapter 2, chapter 3, and obviously, and in 2015, I made that video. I'm currently writing a novel. At that time, I was like on chapter like, I was on the Takis or Colonies chapter when she's like, Father, what's wrong? I was on that chapter, I think, when I made that video. But I was procrastinating, obviously. And it wasn't until 2019 I was serious and I finished the whole book. Obviously. Did you struggle writing Xanus? No, I didn't, guys. I didn't struggle writing it at all. I wrote it with ease. I'm not lying to you guys. What I'm showing you, I wrote that with ease. I'm not lying to you guys. I wrote it with ease. I didn't struggle writing Xanus. Because I have the heavenly gift. It's easy for me. Obviously. I did try writing another fantasy novel, but I couldn't come up with a good story because I can't top what I wrote for Xanus. I had this, I wrote a good page of another fantasy novel. The story was pretty good, obviously, but I couldn't top Xanus. I'm like, I'm not going to write this. Because I can't top Xanus is so good, I can't top what I wrote because it's so good. It's a masterpiece. I can't beat what I wrote, man. If I were to write a fantasy novel, I have to write it in the same universe as Xanus. Like a prequel, you know what I'm saying? A prequel and all that stuff, yeah. Because the Xanus story is so good, I can't top what I wrote. Hence why I can't even write. If I wrote another fantasy novel, it'd be a letdown. It'd still be good, obviously, but it'd be a letdown compared to Xanus because I can't top what I wrote. It's so good, Xanus. I can't top what I wrote. That's why I can't write another fast novel. No. Ivan, man, you're bullshitting me, man. You struggled writing Xanus. No, guys, I didn't. I wrote what I'm showing you. I wrote with ease. I wrote with ease, man. I didn't struggle writing the book. Yeah, I wrote it with ease. Yes, I had writer's block in a few sections of my book. What chapter did you have the most writer's block? Landing Chaos and Secret Council and Surprising Arrival. I had writer's block in those two chapters a little bit. Hence why Landing Chaos, you can argue, is the worst one, because I had a little bit of writer's block in that chapter. I didn't really know what to write about the wolves, hence why, but when you read that section, Prepare for Council Rock, it's still entertaining. Yeah, I had a little bit of writer's block with Landing Chaos. And when you read the beginning of Landing Chaos, it was still sick, obviously, right? Those shall not pass these sacred walls. Put it in writing. Yeah, I'm now sick. Yeah, I had a little bit of writer's block in that chapter. And I had a little bit of writer's block in Volume 3 with Secret Council Surprising Arrival. That chapter I had a little bit of writer's block too. But all the other chapters, I did not have writer's block. I wrote it with ease. I'm not lying to you guys, man. What I'm showing you, I wrote it with ease. I wrote it with ease. I did not struggle writing Xanus. It was easy for me to write Xanus. It was an easy task. I had no struggle writing it because I have the gift. I'm sorry. And they're unique. I did not struggle with that either. I wrote that without brainstorming. Like off the top of my head. One day I was in class, I was bored. Okay, I want to write this romance story, and I came up with an idea called They're Unique, and I wrote like 3 pages of it. And this is off the top of my head without even brainstorming. And when I showed you that, you were hooked. That was sick. I know. I wrote that with these too, because I have the heavenly gift from the heavens, obviously. Yeah. I don't believe you. Ivan. I believe you had help writing Xanus. No, guys, I had no help writing Xanus. None at all. I wrote it all on my own, man, with no help. Yeah, but your younger brother added your book. Yeah, my younger brother just added my typos, my grammar, spelling, punctuations, and he did fix maybe a little bit of the dialogue. But some of the dialogue that he fixed, I didn't like it. I'm gonna go back and change it. Remember that scene when he's like, my prince, you wake up, behave yourself. Remember that scene? Remember how Papari says, I actually manned up and asked her. Originally, I didn't have that wording. My younger brother put that there, but I'm gonna change it. I don't like that. He only fixed maybe, I don't know. He fixed maybe a good 25 of my dialogue in my book. Like a few different words here and there he changed, and that's it. But he just fixed my spelling, punctuations, and sentence structures, as you read in my book, obviously, right? Whereas everything else is all me. The story is all me. I wrote that on my own with no help. My younger brother didn't help me with my book. I was initially supposed to co-write it with him, but God protect me. I remember I kept telling him, "Hey man, are we gonna write the book or not?" He's like, "Yeah, I will." He was lazy, and he had this like stupid idea of the bloodstone. I'm like, "No, that's stupid." I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna write it on my own. I wrote it on my own. God protect me, because had my younger brother wrote it with me, the Gates would own half my brand, man. 50% of my brand. So God protect me. I wrote it on my own, and the brand is 100% mine. It's my brand. I wrote it. The Gates don't own my brand. I wrote it, man. It's my brand. And the Xanus brand's mine. I should welcome VJ. Almost done here, guys. Yeah. Ivan, did you have fun writing Xanus? Yes, I did. Writing a book is fun. It's a lot of work, but even though it was blood, sweat, and tears for me, it was fun writing the book. I remember I had my notebook. Every day I'd write like 5 pages, and afterwards I'd type it out on my laptop, obviously. Remember when I had that laptop? Yeah, the Gates destroyed my computer. It doesn't work anymore. They hacked my laptop, and they deleted my file. Obviously, I had a blast writing Xanus. It was fun. Writing a book is fun, but it's not as fun as being a movie star, right? Being a movie star is much more fun than being an author. It's cooler seeing Ivan and VJ in their glory in a movie than reading an Ivan book or an Ivan VJ book, right? It's cool to be a best-selling author and the fans love your book, but it's much cooler being a movie star, being featured on the red carpet, being featured on the magazines. It's much cooler being a movie star, right? Yeah, that's my point. Yeah. Who's your favorite character in your book, Ivan? Tactius. Tactius is my favorite character. My second favorite character might be Cassius, maybe. Cassius is an interesting character. Or Job. Job's a very interesting character, obviously, but Tactius is my favorite character because the story is mainly about him. He's the lead of the story, right? He's the main character of the story. He has the best character arc in the story because he's the lead of the movie, the lead of the story. It's all about him, right? Tactius, right? And Eratat too. Who's your favorite villain, Ivan? I like Ephesus. Ephesus is a very good villain, but you can argue Eratat's better. Ephesus is a very minor character in the book. But Eratat's also an amazing character too. Wow, he's an amazing villain. But some fans might hate me. Yeah, Eratat was not developed that well in the first two volumes. Yes, Eratat in volume 1 and 2 is not developed that well, but in volume 3, I developed him a bit better. He's better developed in volume 3, Eratat. That's a fool, right? And Ephesus is also a good villain character too, but he's a very minor character. He's only in like a few scenes, right? Yeah, he's a very minor character, but he's an interesting character. Ephesus when you read about him in Volume 3, as my book is sick, it'll blow your mind away, man. Yeah. What volume will fans like the most? I think Volume 3 or Volume 2, but some fans might not like Volume 3. Because Volume 3, I take a totally different direction towards the story. It's a plot twist, Volume 3. It goes in a totally different direction. But it's my favorite because that's when the story gets deep and dark. It's a dark episode of Tactius' life. Obviously, that's why it's my favorite. But you can also argue Volume 2 is better. It just depends on how the art hits you. Volume 2, you can argue, hooks you more. You can also argue Volume 3 hooks you more. Some fans might even like Volume 1 the best. I love the whole thing about the build-up. The life behind the walls of Xanus, Tactius versus life. When Tactius II's born, young Tactius, they might like Volume 1 the best. But Volume 1 for me is the worst. Because it's the build-up of the story. Volume 1 is like Volume 1 builds up the other two volumes pretty much. And it's the shortest volume. It's very entertaining. I showed you guys a lot of scenes from Volume 1. Very entertaining, obviously. But for me, it's the worst one because it's just the build-up of the story. In Volume 2, it gets better with the Salons and everything. And then Eratat. You know what I'm saying? In Volume 3, it gets dark and deep, man. That's why Volume 3 is my favorite. You can argue Volume 3 is the most raw in the writing, you can argue. But I mean... But in my opinion, Volume 3 hooks me the most. No, Volume 2 and Volume 3, they equally hook me, but Volume 3 is when you get the big climaxes of the story and it gets dark. That's why it's my favorite. But you can also argue Volume 2 is better. It's like a back and forth, right, kind of, right? But Volume 3 is my favorite, personally. But some fans might like, no, I like Volume 2 the best. Yeah, I like Volume 2 the best, I understand. Volume 2 is very entertaining, too. It's an entertaining volume, obviously. Just depends how the art hits you, right? Yeah. Yeah. Almost done, guys. I'll talk maybe an hour and 40 minutes. That's good enough. I'm going to take a shower and I'll enjoy the show with you guys. And after that, I might watch some Perry Stone. Yeah. So why? The Southerners can't believe Tactius Princess Xanus? No. They can't believe it because the Northerns never come to the South. As you read in that passage with Job, right? Very few from the South, very few Southerners have been to the North. Very few Northerns have been to the South. Yeah, the Northerns rarely come to the South. Hence why when Cassius and Tacitonians arrive to the South, and Job is escorting them, obviously, you get the reaction when some of the Southerns and some of the Sapiens say, "Oh my God, our Northerns here." Yeah, they're shocked. What the fuck is the Northern doing here? Yeah. That's why they can't believe Tactius is the Prince of Xanus. Because Tactius took on a fake identity. He claimed to be the Colonius, the farmer. And all of a sudden, he claims to be the Prince of Xanus. They can't believe it. But Lithia has the faith. She believes, as you guys read in that passage with Bell, right? And I believe them, yeah. But that's crazy speech. No way is the heir of Xanus wandering these parts. We're in the South. Yeah, they can't believe it, man. Bell's like, that's crazy speech. No way is the heir of Xanus wandering these parts. We're in the South, man. We're in the cursed South, man. Why the fuck would the prince from the Northern Heavenly Kingdom come to the fucking South? I've been looking at our matches, man. He's a northern, he takes on a figure identity. They don't believe he's a Princess Leia, so they throw him in a dungeon and he has a trial, like Jesus. I'm like, yeah, I've been looking at our matches. This is Lord of the Rings, though. I know for he's real Lord of the Rings. It's Lord of the Rings for you, no said, yeah. Oh, I've been serious, man. How did you come up with this story, man? Your worldling's so unique with the North and the South. The North and the South, they don't like each other. The South is hers. Your worldling is very unique, Ivan. Like it's more unique than even Lord of the Rings. Yeah, Lord of the Rings has a deeper, better worldling than mine, obviously. But my worldling, I think, is more unique than Lord of the Rings. It's a very unique worldling, my world. Ivan, where'd you get the idea of North and South? I got the idea of North and South from the Star Wars game. Yeah. These dudes like, Ivan, really? Yeah. I used to play Knights of the Republic all the time back in the day when I was younger. Back in like 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010. I used to play Knights of the Republic is like my favorite Star Wars game. Yeah, I used to play that game all the time. I beat the game out like 10, 12 times. I beat the game, obviously. And what? I got the idea off the game when in the Kashyyyk, you had the upper lands and the lower lands. That's where I got that idea of the North and the South. Dude, he was like, Ivan, really? Yeah, man. That's where I got that idea, man, off the Star Wars game. You have the upper lands and the lower lands, and I came up with that idea in my book, the upper lands and the lower lands. The upper lands is the north, the lower lands is the south. And I got that idea off the Xanian Arts, off Lucasfilm Arts, Lucas Game Arts. Remember the Lucas Arts and that used to own the Star Wars games? Yeah, I got that idea off the Xanian Arts off that. Ivan, seriously? Yeah, man. True story, I'm not lying. Yeah. So, in your book, you don't call them Northerners and Southerners. No, I call them Southerns and Northerns. That's why I'm going to tell the editor when I edit my book. I know you're fixing up my grammar. I want the slang terms Southerns and Northerns. I don't want you calling them Northerners and Southerners. I'm going to put that in a note. I don't want you ruining my story. They're called Southerns in the book. They're called Northerns in the book. It's a slang term. It's supposed to be Northerners and Southerners, but I don't want them to be called Southerners and Northerners. They're called Northerns and Southerns. And when you read my book, it's a slang term. Don't change that in my fucking story. Okay, Ivan, yeah, I'm gonna be serious with the editor when I edit my book, man. Don't change that in my fucking story. You're gonna ruin my story, huh? They're called Southerns and Northerns. And the people of Cyrus are called Syrians, as you guys read. The people from Saphius are called Saphians. And the people from Xanians are called Xanians. And the wolves of Barak are called the wolves of Barak, as you guys read in some section of my book, right? Rak, the wolves of Barak, yeah. And the bats are just called the bats. I don't call them the bats of Gilead, they're just called the bats, obviously. But the wolves are called the wolves of Rak when you read some section of my book, right? Yeah. So that's why Cassius and Natonius were disgusted by Job. Yeah. Because they know their cousin is a prince from the Prince of Xanus. Who the fuck do you Southerns think you are? You locked my fucking cousin who's a Prince of Xanus in chains. He has authority over you guys, man. And you locked him in chains. That's why he's disgusted by Job. And he was furious. Yeah, what about Tactius? I'm not sick, I know. Job, I take it you had a horse taken care of? You know what I'm saying? He was being ironic. I'm saying, yes, there are welfare traders. And what about Tactius? I'm not sick, I know. Yeah. So Tacitus is cocky too. Yeah, Tacitus is also cocky too. He's a bit stubborn and cocky too, like Tactius, obviously. And that's why when he said the bats, he was laughing. He's like, haha. He's like, me and Tac and Cassius can handle some worthless bats. And then Eli tells Tactius or Cornelius, I forget who was talking there. He's like, these are no ordinary bats, Sir Tacitus. They are big and fierce. And they can kill even you, one who's trained as ANRs. They are devils. He's like, oh, come on, we can fight them. And then Cassius is like, Tass, listen to them. I'm now sick. I'm saying, I know. The words might give us some further advice on our journey. I know. I was sick. I know. My book is sick, but I know. So they knew they were outnumbered. Yeah, like okay. That's why Mary's like, what if there's hundreds of thousands of them waiting in there? We can't rely on three trained warriors to protect us. And then Cassie's like, geez, thanks for the encouraging words, lady. Yeah. Because Mary was what? She doubted them. That's why he's like, how many available blacksmiths do you have? Of what use is this question, Cassius? How many? I'm now sick, I know. Yeah. That leaves the rest of the story. I won't spoil the story for you, obviously, right? Yeah. Yeah. So, Ivan, who's the most powerful warrior in Xanus? Tactius has the highest potential, but because he's arrogant, he can also lose to Tacitonius and Cassius if he's arrogant, obviously. In the first two bombs, I won't spoil over you. But Tactius is known as the best skilled swordsman in the land. When you read that passage, he has mastered every session of the arts. And Cassius even says he's even surpassed me at a young age. Yeah, man. Cassius is a very powerful warrior. He's a general of the Zane army. He's the one who trains the army. Him and Myrmis are powerful. And Tactius is their second. Tacitonius is their second best student. But he's not on Tactius' level, obviously, right? But he's also very powerful, too. You kind of have that Anakin symbolism. Anakin, he has the highest midichlorian count, which means he has the highest potential out of all the Jedis to be the most powerful. But because he's arrogant and stupid, he can lose, obviously. Anakin only lost to Obi-Wan because he was stupid. He wasn't thinking straight. He was consumed with his anger. All he was thinking about was just killing Obi-Wan. He wasn't thinking straight. You underestimate my power, and he jumps. He's like, don't try it, and he cuts his legs off because Anakin was stupid. But Anakin is more powerful than Obi-Wan in terms of potential, but because he's arrogant and stupid, Obi-Wan beat him, obviously. Anakin even surpasses Yoda in terms of potential. But his arrogance and remember how Obi-Wan said in Attack of the Clones, his abilities have made him arrogant. Yeah, his abilities make him arrogant. That's why he's stupid. Obviously, he doesn't listen. Anakin, he's not. I know Anakin is not a smart fighter. Obi-Wan is a very smart fighter. Anakin is not a Anakin is an aggressive fighter. He's more aggressive than Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's more calm. He's a smart fighter. Anakin is an aggressive fighter, and because of he's blinded by his arrogance and his stupidity and his aggressiveness, he lost Obi-Wan, obviously. Samsara? You kind of get that with Tactius too. Tactius has the highest potential because he's arrogant and stupid. He could lose to Cassius and Tacitonius because of his arrogance, obviously. Whereas Cassius is also a smart fighter too, like Obi-Wan, right? He's not arrogant and stupid like Tactius. He's a smart fighter, obviously. But the most powerful swordman in the land is Tactius, and second is Cassius, and Cassius and Myrmis are like equal. They're equals pretty much, but they have two different form of fightings. Myrmis is a ranged fighter. Tactius is a close range melee fighter. Cassius fights with his sword. Myrmis fights with his bow and arrow. And then Tacitonius is fourth. He's the third. He's the third most powerful warrior. But he's not as powerful as Cassius and Myrmis and Tactius. But Tacitonius is also a badass warrior too. That's why you're going to see John Boyega. He's a badass warrior in the movie. Yeah. G1 2 is a badass warrior. Looking at a sick movie. So, alright, your book's sick, man. I know my book is sick, John. I'm saying it's a sick book, yeah. Do you mention much about the Zane arts? Not really. In the book, I don't really mention that much about Zane arts, but you do get the Zane arts in my book when you read it. But in the movie, you can expand it and make it better for the movie, right? Yeah. Yeah. Remember in that scene in Young Tactius? Cassius says, yeah, Tactius has mastered the arts as an 8-year-old kid. And Tacitonius has mastered it too, but not like Tactius, obviously. When you read in that passage, obviously, Young Tactius, yeah. Tacitonius mastered the arts too, but he didn't really master it the way Tactius did, obviously. You know what I'm saying? And Myrmis is like, he is Tactius' boy. royal blood runs in his veins. Yeah, you'll see who that ties into Flying Fear. I won't spoil story for you, right? Yeah, I won't spoil story for you. That's my book is sick. Yeah. And that's why you have that fight scene in Ivan, show us a fight scene. No, I don't want to spoil the story. It's a sick scene though. You have that fight scene in Young Tactius. All the kids, before I shut the camera here, all the kids who Maramis and Cassius train, obviously, the Xanus Arts, they're jealous that that Maramis and Cassius always report great news, great stuff about Tacitus and Tactius. Yeah, you're the prince of, I'm paraphrasing. You're the prince of Xanus. You live in your spoiled and rich castle with your spoiled cousin, who's a part of the royal family. I'm saying Cassius and Maramis always report great news about you guys. They train you at the city's edge, at the city's edge. Whereas us, they train us at the stadium. It's not fair. Show us what you got, sire. And you have this fight scene in Young Tactius, and Tactius is like, I mean not to fight you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Obviously. Does Tactius learn his lesson from the brewery manager? A little bit. Remember in that scene when he's like, go away? Yeah. He's like, we can cause another ruckus there. He's like, no, our mothers made it very clear we can't do that, right? Yeah. But he's still an arrogant, cocky prince, as you read in when he's older. He's still an arrogant, cocky prince. But you learn the lesson a little bit when he's a kid, obviously. But even when he's older, he's an arrogant, cocky prince, as you guys read in some patches of the book, right? I'm the heir of Xanus. I bow to no one. Yeah, you're just a poor old farmer who raises cattle. You know, he's arrogant and cocky. Yeah, obviously. That's right, you're not. And as the Princess Xanus, I order you to get out of your cowardly ass and join me as you enjoy yourselves with the 3 lovely ladies. Yeah, he's cocky and arrogant. You'll see that when you're doing. That's why you also get some Anakin symbolism with Tactius a little bit, right? The main symbolism with Tactius is Jesus, obviously, when you read Volume 3. You also get a little bit of Anakin symbolism with Tactius too, right? Yeah. They train him when he's a kid, just like Anakin's trained when he's a kid. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he has an obsession with it, just like Anakin has an obsession with Padme. You get some Anakin symbolism too a little bit, obviously, when you read my book, obviously. That's why that whore of a chick, obviously, she slapped him on the face. She's like, I guess Baramis is right, you are arrogant. He's like, it was nice talking to you too, harlot. I know it's funny, I know, he's arrogant. He's an arrogant prince, obviously. Why did the woman want to go up with him? Well, when you read the book, Tactius is known as a very handsome man. He's a handsome, very, very handsome prince. That's why Lithia likes him, obviously. He's handsome. And he can get whatever he wants. He's a prince of Xanus, obviously. That's why when him and Tacitus were talking to the woman, Tacitus ends up going up to the chambers with a woman. They have sex, obviously. The one chick wants to go up with Tactius. He's like, not today, my lady. And she's like, I guess Baramis is right. You are arrogant. He's like, it was nice talking to you too, harlot. Yeah, he's arrogant. And once he gets thrown in the dungeon and humbles him, he's not as arrogant as you guys read in that scene, right? Yeah, he's like, we can't just abandon people. He's a bit more mature. But he gets really mature in Volume 3. In that scene, he's still a little bit cocky, but he's a bit more mature now. He's more humble now. But once Volume 3 hits, he's now a mature, changed man. He's not that cocky, arrogant prince. Obviously. But even when he's mature in Volume 3 and he's a changed man, he still has a little bit of that cockiness and arrogance in him. The cockiness and arrogance is always a part of Tactius, but he's a much more mature, changed man when you read Volume 3. That's why I wrote a masterpiece. Yeah. Half of my book will be the best fast overwritten, and Xanus will be the best movies ever made when I adapted. Anyways, guys, I talked for an hour and almost an hour and 50 minutes. That's good enough, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Stay tuned. I'll make a video tomorrow after my shift, my long, daunting shift at Coco 40, because I work tomorrow alone on a weekend, right? This is Admer. I'm signing out. Peace, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Peace out. Xanus.